Greetings, I'm Cuthbert Bucket, petty video game analyst and creator of the phrase Groushy Graphics. This video did not end up like it was planned. It was originally meant to be a video simply comparing the differences between the Gamecube and Wii versions of Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. However, the more I played the new Play Control version, the more I realised that the people who updated the game just didn't understand what made the Gamecube game so good and made the Wii version far worse than it should have been. Let's briefly talk about why I love Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. The game is a fast, stylish combo platformer played with only 3 inputs: left, right and clap. The game's focus is on keeping massive combos going and racking up a huge score in each kingdom. The controls are genius and remind me of arcade games that have unusual controls that only work for that specific game. Each kingdom is separated into 3 sections, 2 levels and then a boss fight. Getting hit, either during levels or by the boss at the end, reduces your final score for that kingdom. The game invites multiple playthroughs of each kingdom to improve your score. Jungle Beat just has so little filler. Everything just keeps going, pushing you towards the next level. There's no real story, which just adds to the fun. DK's just going around proving he's the best, which gives everything a great flow. Alright, I think that does a good enough job giving you the groundwork. Now, let's get into what the Wii version does to mess it up. I think I'll start with the little nitpicks before getting into the major problems. I need to start this section with something important. If all of these changes were in the original Gamecube version, I wouldn't be complaining about them here. As I list out these changes, you have to also keep in mind that some poor Japanese person had to put effort in to change this stuff. Flow removal. The Gamecube game's flow that I talked about has been reduced by a multitude of additions. The banana eating bit in between levels is ever so slightly slower for some reason, and it makes it feel a lot more awkward as DK stares you down for an extra half second. The menus are also just a little bit slower and more awkward, and there are multiple instances of extra fluff text being added in that makes going from one level to the next slower. Annoying text box monkeys have been added, and some have been placed close to bananas, meaning you'll hit them by accident and activate their text box. These can be avoided, I am aware, but I instinctively clap at monkeys and bushes as everywhere else in the game, they chuck me somewhere cool. Style removal. Some unique and stylish elements of the original are gone now. The menus have lost their cool diagonal slant, opting for a stylistically bankrupt and incredibly average look. The Gamecube's menus match the logo of the game really well, as both are angular and just fun to look at. There's no more funny DK close-up, which I sorely missed when playing the Wii one. It never got in the way as it disappears where it would. But it lets you get a good look at Jungle Beat's fantastic model. He's very expressive. Though, I guess some people didn't like it. With all their improvements, they forgot to make larger, widescreen versions of the boss graphics. these stick out really badly. And this is one of the only things they had to do to actually make the game widescreen, and they didn't even do it. The game's kind of all about music, seeing as you play it with bongos, and as I mentioned earlier, it has a dynamic soundtrack. One part of that soundtrack is a little trumpet that plays along to the song every time DK jumps. Listen to it. The Wii version removed it. No clue why. Chill removal. Jungle Beat may be fast-paced and action-packed, but the game's attitude always feels relaxed and it never feels like it's talking down to you. On the other hand, the Wii "Why not take a break?" has been added, which always feels a little patronizing and silly. Yeah, if I'm tired, I will. I will, yes. After replaying a level, a "try this" movie might play. In the Wii one, they're still in here, but have stupid music on them now that makes the advice given seem less cool. I mean, take a listen, compare for yourself. I mentioned the text box monkeys earlier, but I'm going to talk about what they actually add to the game. Nothing. They tell you that you need to get bananas back from the kings who stole them from you? Really original. I prefer the idea that Donkey Kong is just being a big old piece of shit and is beating people up to prove he's the king. Speaking of beating everyone up, let's play the game now and start comparing the big changes that actually matter. We'll keep this section organised by playing the games side by side, so to speak. I'll show you the first 3 levels of gameplay of the Wii and the Gamecube one, and tell you how and why I had more fun in the Gamecube one. I am going to start this with the only thing in Wii's favour. This is the one point Wii has. A proper in-game save file system. For some reason, on the Gamecube one, you have to unplug your memory card or move your current save data to a different one to restart your save file, which is a little annoying. But that's all Wii has. Save files. Alright, now here we are in opening ceremony. The cold open that doubles as a movement tutorial. Not much has changed here, except for the hint monkeys that make the game less interesting. You also have to shake it an obnoxious amount of times instead of clapping once, or just 3 times in the PAL version. The Gamecube version has darker lighting, which makes it look a lot more like the morning before the sun has risen, which it's clearly meant to be. Not much else to report other than hitting the tree with the bongo inputs is a lot nicer on the arms. Main menu. And we have to wait for the Wii version to unlock Banana Kingdom for us. Thanks. Gamecube? Here it is! Get going! Banana Kingdom. Right off the bat, you can see much more of the level in the Gamecube one. Despite having the widescreen advantage, the Wii shows you less. I tried playing the Wii version 4x3, it was unplayable, giving you practically no time to react to anything ahead of you. The cacti placed around the level don't add too much either, just forcing you to stop and clap, which isn't difficult. Now, as we get over here to the monkeys, I'm trying the same things in both games. I played the Wii one first in the recording session. Unfortunately, my short time with the Wii one made me forget that you can't ground slam out of any jumps other than backflips in the Gamecube version. The sleeping hog section and onwards is pretty much the same, but my arms are not enjoying the shaking at all. Then some shiny thing comes out and spits out a coin, which I ignored. Upon approaching the final banana, the oversensitive motion controls activate and I get sucked into the banana unwillingly. Gamecube, I'm grabbing those bonus bananas. Then it's time to shake again! These sections are fun on Gamecube, but these controllers do not pick up each individual shake in the same way they pick up each button press. Jungle Deeps time. I struggle to clap at the thing right in front of DK's face and rush to the depths. I continue as normal, but the way the clap slows your momentum down drives me mad every time. It's super annoying. I'm also going to use this time where I'd otherwise be repeating my "I do not like how hard you have to shake to get the punches to register" thing, to talk about how the change from clapping to shaking means the monkeys no longer clap to the rhythm, but waggle a Wii remote to the rhythm, which doesn't sound as nice. Now for the gliding section. They may get into the secret bits easier and more obvious on Wii, which leads to the better score. Look, they added in extra blowers that point you to exactly where it is. Otherwise, the level is similar. Same with Dreadcon. Check out that graphic that doesn't quite go widescreen. Sometimes the Wii version is just the same-ish game with worse controls. Shaking to punch doesn't feel as tactile as pressing a button. I'm saying it too often, but it's true. Well, after my first well-earned victory, the camera zooms out and it's time for beat totals. On Gamecube, that is, the Wii one zooms out before showing that, yes, you did in fact beat Dread Kong and saved the Banana Kingdom. Sure, saved. Check out the background, it's zoomed back in again after zooming out. It's literally wasting time. Crest check! They made getting all the crests way easier in the Wii version. Not just for this level, but for all the levels. The score requirements are loads lower, And you get a whole bunch of extra beats for having health at the end, which didn't exist in the original. They de-emphasized the score part of the score chasing game. Well done. In the Wii one, all you have to do is beat the level, but the Gamecube one requires a good score to unlock the next levels. You can even play the levels out of order if you feel like it, and unlock them early. Shows how relaxed the game is about structure. Orange Kingdom. This level shakes up what you know about Jungle Beat. DK's on a rampaging goat! I'm surprised that the Wii version didn't add in a text box explaining how DK got here. But honestly, I'm happy they didn't. The Gamecube version tells you to mash right to speed up, where the Wii version just has you holding the control stick right. This is the key problem with Silver Snow Peak in the Wii version. On the Cube, you have to use your two hands to run, jump, and clap. You can't really do all of those things at once, so you have to change your hand positions to suit the situation, which makes the level much more exciting. The Wii one feels bland, as you can speed up, jump, and clap all at the same time, which takes away the entire challenge of the level. Everyone's just going to keep holding right. There's no reason not to. Going fast and breaking the snowballs takes no effort when you're able to do everything at once. Look at this. The Wii tried to give me a 1-up, but the game isn't designed around it, so it just drops it uselessly far behind where I am. Did they test this system properly? The ending jump means you have to shake the remotes to stay afloat. The Gamecube one uses bongos, enough said, though it is odd that this is when they realise it'd be too easy to just hold right. Orange Kingdom Part 2, Sky Garden. Other than the Thwomp knockoff, there's not much to talk about in the early section. They did change the unique flowers into thematically clashing barrel cannons. It's Sky Garden. Pretty much every other issue I've already described before comes back, and I don't want to be a broken record, so I'll take this time to say something new. It's odd that the Gamecube one was played with only 3 inputs, but the Wii one is played with 1 stick, 3 buttons and a shake input. It makes the game feel clunkier, not more complex, as I could do everything I wanted to do on the bongos. They never felt limiting, and the game was great because of them, not in spite of them. Scruff Rock is pretty much the same, except I'm better at pushing buttons than shaking Wii remotes. This is years of playing the Gamecube one right here. Time for the final kingdom I'll be covering in this video, Watermelon Kingdom. First section up is Monkey Fest, possibly one of the best parts of the entire game. You can spend this entire level in one massive combo, it's incredible. Monkey Fest keeps its charm in the Wii one, so that's nice. I really like how hyped the music gets as your combo gets bigger and bigger. Take a listen. The same cannot be said for Desert Oasis. This is the level where I first lost a life while playing, which to be fair was due to my own mistakes, and I noticed how little the life system added. If you didn't want to run out of lives, you could just replay the first level over and over again, trying for high scores. You'd get mountains of lives. The system doesn't matter. Slam dunking pigs and coconuts was really fun in the Gamecube one, because it always felt like it worked properly. I'm certain the Wii one broke the coconut grabbing and throwing system, as it kept not working for me at all, especially during the palm tree pig. And when DK does grab the coconut, you'd better be careful how you're holding the stick, because the original game's controls were not designed around a stick. If you're moving when DK grabs a coconut, he immediately throws it, often the wrong way. This problem carries right on over to Roadhog, as his main mechanic is all about tossing his attacks right back at him. Control is better in the Gamecube version, what can I say? Watermelon Kingdom has been saved. Well, that's all 3 levels done. This video is long enough now anyway, so I think it's about time we wrap this up. Because I have something interesting to say that doesn't involve gameplay. I have talked enough. You know the gameplay changes now, but let's talk about Jungle Beat itself. It was the game that invented the E10 ESRB rating, which is sort of like the PEGI 7 of the USA. However, the game only got PEGI 3 in PAL regions, which I find hilarious. The Gamecube game was directed by Yoshiaki Koizumi, and was the first game developed by Nintendo EAD's Tokyo division. Why is this important? It's just interesting. The game is surprisingly influential to Nintendo's history as they transitioned from the Gamecube to the Wii. Kind of a parallel to the game being released on both consoles. Here's some more interesting things about the development and the critical reception of the game. In an interview, Koizumi was asked why the game's story was so minimal. He responded, "The only thing Donkey Kong needs is to be the best, and to become king of the jungle." I've never had my opinion validated this hard before. The development of the game began when Koizumi and a few other members of the dev team attended a meeting featuring the bongo controller from Donkey Konga, a game I also really like. They wanted to make a game that used it that wasn't a rhythm game, and this would address a current issue Nintendo had seen feedback on, that controllers were becoming too complex. When making Jungle Beat, they quickly realised, tonally and stylistically, the game was very different from any other Donkey Kong game, notably very different from Donkey Kong Country. Thus, they tried to keep elements from Donkey Kong Country to a minimum, hoping the game would showcase the EAD team's style. After showing a demo of the game at E3 2004, Koizumi was pleased to see the game was well received by casual players. When the game finally released, it was well received by critics. However, the main criticisms they had for the game was its short length and that it didn't have Donkey Kong Country styled gameplay. I personally think that's really stupid. The game hasn't got country in the title, it's Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, not Donkey Kong Country Jungle Beat. Now, some of you will know what Koizumi and the rest of Nintendo's EAD team did after this game. To put it simply to those who don't know, the next game they worked on was a little known title called Super Mario Galaxy. Replaying Jungle Beat with the knowledge that the team went on to make Galaxy makes a lot of things make sense. Donkey Kong's fantastic fur texturing, the Honey Queen, levels with completely different control schemes just for variety, levels with completely different control schemes for variety. It all lines up, and learning this for the video made my love for the game skyrocket. And makes new play control look worse. Remember what I said at the start of the video? The people who updated the game didn't understand what made the Gamecube game so good. I picked those words carefully, but perhaps not carefully enough. The new play control team is made out of almost completely different people, but all of these people have worked on games that I've liked or even loved. But people on the dev team, or maybe even higher ups who had no part in the game, requested or made the game more like traditional Donkey Kong games. Which is against the very spirit of the game, right? EAD wants this game to be their own, with their own ideas and its own personality. And Nintendo wanted to simplify controls and appeal to a casual audience, and this game was the first part of that. So, if you like the Wii version more than the Gamecube, that's fine. It's your opinion. You're allowed to have that. But what isn't an opinion is that the Gamecube one is by far the more interesting and influential part of Nintendo's history. When it came to new play control, they didn't need to do anything. Less would have been more. Speaking of less,